So I'm making my food right now. I know this is a different video. These are vegetables. You're okay. What? What you want, baby? What? Really? You want my attention? Okay, just give me a minute, okay? Yeah, I know. Can you give me a minute? Mr. Demanding? I love you, Mr. Demanding. You're so pretty. I love you too much. So pretty. Mommy loves you so much. Yes, I do. I do. I love you. Okay. Anyway, just give me a minute. Okay, this is the vegetables. I cut up fresh vegetables, and I cut them in big batches, like for about a week's worth, because it's easier on my hands. I know it kind of makes me suffer. Actually, it makes me suffer a lot the day I do it. But if I try to cut vegetables every day, I'll never make it. So I cut up enough to last a week. And this is probably about a week old right now. So I got a couple more days of this. I think 2, maybe 3 days. Today and maybe 2 more days of this that is left. And this is broccoli, cauliflower, leeks. We have Brussels sprouts in here. We have onions. We have garlic. And we have orange and yellow bell pepper. That's what I have in this. And it changes up sometimes a little bit. It has some kale in here too. Some kale. So this is really good vegetables for you to eat. Now, eating them raw is not ideal because there's certain things that need to be broke down or activated when they're heated up. I don't do any type of, excuse me, boiling or even steaming because it does take a lot of the nutrients away. So what I do is I put them in my air fryer. I put them in here in this basket, and then I will cook them either on the vegetable setting for about 12 minutes. And during the time that they're cooking, I stir them around, so that each thing gets evenly cooked. Now, the other thing that I also do is I'll do like a roast or a broil to give it a bit of a crunchiness to it. When I have more kale in it, I like it to be more crunchy on the crunchy side. But right now I'm just doing the vegetable setting. So these are my seasonings. I have Parmesan, okay? And I buy the Parmesan that says no cellulose powder in it, because cellulose powder, I don't know if anybody knows, it is actually sawdust. And you don't want to eat sawdust, do you? We weren't meant to eat trees. Certain things we can eat, but sawdust is not one. And then I'll put in these other seasonings, a little bit, because if you put a lot, you're going to end up with a very salty thing. So I'll put a little bit of each seasoning. This one is caramelized onion butter, has a little bit of salt in it, organic salt, garlic salt, I'm sorry, black garlic, which is yummy. And then I'll put a little bit in this for pepper because I'm out of pepper, Himalayan pink salt, black pepper, and garlic. I'm a garlic fanatic. And then this is really good. It's called Complete. And it is, it'd be like in the Hispanic section of the store, or sometimes it's in the seasoning section. You can get it at Walmart, or, you can look it up online where you can get it from. And it has literally everything in it. I like it because it's got a good amount of seasonings in it. It's like an all-purpose seasoning. That's why it's called Complete. Anyway, so I'll dabble a little bit of this in there. And then I usually use a really nice olive oil, which is this one. Now, I'm not a paid promotion or promoting it or anything or getting paid from them, but I definitely love this organic extra virgin olive oil from Newman's Own. First of all, I like Paul Newman because they're Christian. As far as I've been made aware, they are Christian. And I really like that. And then the other one that I use that I got from the food bank, because I'm out of my Paul Newman's right now, I use Spectrum. And it's just because I got it from the food bank. It isn't because it's anything special. And then I'll pour in all the seasonings first. That's most important, because if you put in the oil first, the seasoning is going to stick to that one item, and then it's going to be hard to get it to move around to the other items. I've noticed it gets in the cracks and crevices of like the Brussels sprouts and stuff like that. And then you got a really salty Brussels sprout because it gets in those cracks and crevices, and the rest of the stuff doesn't have the flavor, so it's kind of sends it wonky. Anyway, so I put these in first. I mix them with my gloved hand real good. Then I put in the oil, and then I mix it real good. And it says 1 to 2 tablespoons, okay? For this amount, it'd probably be 2 tablespoons for me, because I like some extra olive oil because it helps with a lot of things. Olive oil is really good for you. I can't give you all the specs on it because I don't know 100% everything it does, but I do know it is a good thing for your digestive system. So I put all that in there, and then I cook it in there for 12 minutes. It's just the way to go. It's the way of the world nowadays. And you get your fresh vegetables, and then also what I do sometimes is I'll put some chickpeas in there. But right now my chickpeas are packed, my canned chickpeas. I'm going to start doing my own chickpeas and not doing the canned, because I do not like canned food. I'll eat it sometimes when I have to, but I don't like it. And so, and then I'll put like some bits of chicken or some bits of bacon, or, I haven't done beef yet, but I could do that. I haven't done that yet. I've done chicken, fish, and chickpeas. And so you can add other things in there that you want and air fry it, but you want to cook the meats first, okay? You want to cook the meats first, and you can cook them in the air fryer per your air fryer instructions, and then cut them up into little pieces, or cook it on the stove per your, however you do it, and then cut them up and put them in here and air fry them like halfway through with the vegetables, not in the very beginning, because if you do it in the very beginning when you're doing the vegetables, those meat products are going to dry out. So you want to put them in there about halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, especially if they're already warm. You just want to toss them in there a little bit with the oil, that's in there. Just kind of stir them around inside the air fryer and cook it. And it kind of infuses in with the vegetables. Wonderful thing here that I like is that now these vegetables, you see there's a lot in here. You're like, how are you going to eat that all in one setting? This is actually 2 for me. And I cook it, and they shrink in the air fryer. They definitely shrink. That's just the way it is. They shrink down, and they get smaller and softer and crunchier and whatever. And then half of this will be eaten now and half later on tonight. And that's how I do it. And that's what I'll eat today. And then I have 1 piece of chicken that I cooked yesterday that I'll eat today to get my protein. But Brussels sprouts, broccoli, things like that give you protein also, and give you a lot of nutrients that you need. So the other thing I want to say is how I cooked my chicken. Now, I might do a video on this after I move. I learned it from a really sweet lady on YouTube. I can't think of her channel right now because my brain is fried. Get a ceramic pot, just ceramic, okay? Non-stick ceramic pot, okay? I've had this since, March? And man, it's still going strong. I don't cook anything but my chicken in that pot. And you want that pot to be cold, and you want your chicken to be, so you want like breasts or thighs, and you want to cut those to where the chicken will lay flat on its skin. You cut the back side where there's no skin, and you cut it through like 4 different slices like this. And you don't want to cut all the way through, but you want to cut almost all the way through. And then you lay the skin side down flat in the pan. But before you do that, I'm going to explain real quick. You take the chicken. I have my piece of chicken in here. I don't have anything to put it in. And that right there is a crispy piece of chicken. Okay? It's not going to be crispy now that it's sat overnight. You want to cook it and then eat it in the same day, pretty much, unless you're going to air fry it. If you air fry it, the crispiness will come back. If you heat it up in the air fryer, which I will do today, the crispiness will come back. So you clean it, you cut it, and you dry it really good with a paper towel. Then you put it on a plate and you put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour to get it nice and cold. Now, you don't want your chicken frozen or anything. You want it thawed out, but you want it to be nice and cold in a cold pan. Then, real fast, you only want to use salt and pepper, no other seasonings until the cooking is finished, because it will alter what happens with the chicken and it will burn it, actually. I learned the hard way. So what you want to do is you want to salt a little bit on each side and pepper a little bit on each side. And immediately, don't let it set, immediately before it starts melting the fats, put it skin down flat in the pan. Then turn the burner on to medium. No higher and no lower, to medium. Turn it on to medium. Put the lid on it. Okay, it has to have a lid. Then set the timer for 10 minutes. Let that cook. Do not touch the chicken. Do not do anything. Don't open the lid. Just leave it. If it looks like it's burning, then obviously you've got to do something. But if it just looks like it's getting real brown in the bottom of the pan, don't worry. Nothing bad is happening as long as you keep an eye and you know it's not turning black in there. So you let that cook for 10 minutes. Then you take the lid off. And you're going to cook it for another 10 minutes in the pan without a lid, with the skin side down, not touched. Do not touch it. Then after the next 10 minutes, flip it over and cook it for another 10 to 15 minutes. She says 10 minutes, but I think it literally takes another maybe 15 minutes because you want that chicken done. And I know that sounds like, wow, that's 35 minutes. But if you want fried chicken that is not using any oils at all, zero, you put no oils in the pan, and you just want it to be, crispy on the skin, and you want to eat that without all that saturated fats from oils, that's the way to do it. And I like doing it that way. I do it whenever I eat fried chicken. That's the way I do it, and I really enjoy it because it just crispies up that skin and the meat stays really moist. It doesn't get dried out. It's just really good that way. But anyway, I'm getting ready to do a video of how I prep this, a short video of how I prep this, and show you what it looks like and everything after it's put in the air fryer. And then maybe when it's all done, I'll do another video showing you what it looks like when it's all done and cooked.